How did COMECON shape Cold War economics? Imagine two worlds divided not just by ideology but by how they managed their economies. On one side, capitalist countries thrived on competition and free markets. On the other, socialist countries followed a different path. That's where COMECON comes in. Established in 1949 by the Soviet Union and its Eastern European allies, COMECON was created as a counter to the Western Marshall Plan. Its goal was to coordinate economic policies and promote cooperation among socialist nations within the Soviet sphere. This meant creating a separate economic zone, apart from the capitalist economies of the West. COMECON aimed to integrate the centrally planned economies of its member states. Instead of market forces deciding what to produce or how much, governments made those choices through state planning. Countries within COMECON focused on industrial specialization, where one country might produce machinery and another focus on agriculture. This was meant to avoid duplication and make the bloc more efficient. But because decisions were made centrally, it often led to rigid economic structures that couldn't adapt quickly to new technologies or changing markets. Trade within COMECON was quite different from Western trade. Because these countries used non-convertible currencies, they relied on barter, buyback agreements, and other non-market methods. These trade practices were less efficient and often resulted in shortages or surpluses. The Soviet Union, as the dominant power, controlled trade terms and economic planning for the entire bloc. This dependence meant smaller countries had little room for independent economic decisions. During the Cold War, COMECON's structure reinforced the division of Europe. Countries in the Eastern Bloc were cut off from Western markets, which limited their access to technology and investment. This led to technological gaps and slower economic growth compared to Western nations. The planned economies struggled to keep pace with Western innovations, especially as energy prices rose in the West, pushing Western countries toward more efficient technologies. In contrast to capitalist systems, which reward innovation and competition, COMECON's rigid planning often resulted in stagnation. Productivity was slow to improve, and technological progress lagged behind Western countries. This economic stagnation was a clear sign of the limitations of central planning. It also made the Soviet Union and its allies less competitive in the global economy. The existence of COMECON also pushed Western countries to create their own economic alliances, like the European Economic Community and NATO's economic cooperation. These alliances aimed to boost productivity and innovation, which often outpaced the socialist bloc. Over time, the economic differences between the two sides became more obvious. Capitalist countries generally enjoyed higher living standards, more technological progress, and greater economic flexibility. In the end, COMECON played a major role in shaping Cold War economics by creating a socialist economic bloc based on central planning. Its inefficiencies and technological shortcomings highlighted the challenges of running an economy without market signals. This division helped define the economic landscape of the Cold War era and showed how different economic systems could influence global power and development.